Mr. Worple. It would be a limited edition at your expense, sir.
Well, let's see how that's going to help Jeeves.
A great deal of the book will be given over to eulogistic remarks concerning Mr. Worple's own treatise, sir. And I would further recommend the dispatching of a presentation copy to Mr. Worple immediately on publication.
But I can't write a book.
Oh, yes, you can.
I don't even write interesting letters.
I fancy it would be fairly simple to find some impecunious young writer, miss, who would be only too glad to do the actual composing of the volume for a small fee. It is only necessary that the young lady's name appear on the title page, sir.
Couldn't you do it, Mr. Jeeves?
I'm sure you could. You seem to know so much, and you talk so nicely.
I hardly think...
Well, now, you see, you could, you know, Jeeves.
What's the matter? Don't believe in stoplights?
I say, look here.
Very good, sir. I'll do that, sir. I shall inform Mr. Wooster, sir. Goodbye.
Well, Jeeves?
That was a Mr. Cyril Bassington, sir.
Never heard of him. What did he want?
He was telephoning from a police station, sir. He was requesting for you to go round and bail him out.
Oh, what dashed nerve. Fellas phone you up out of the blue. Well, never mind. Look, you leave all this to Jeeves and me, all right? Jeeves will get writing, and I'll do everything else.
Wonderful.
Hip, hip. Yes. Nice girl, that. Hawkey's found himself, what?
Very charming, sir.
Oh, now, Jeeves, this fellow who phoned up from Chucky, what was his name?
Mr. Bassington, sir.
Yes, you heard of him, Jeeves?
I am familiar with the name Bassington, sir. There are the Shropshire Bassingtons, the Hampshire Bassingtons, and, of course, the Kent Bassingtons.
Ah, so the world's pretty well stocked up on Bassingtons, then?
Tolerably so, sir.
No chance of a sudden shortage, I mean, huh?
Presumably not, sir. Apparently he is a protégé of Mrs. Gregson's, sir.
What? Aunt Agatha? How long have you been in New York, Jeeves, did he say?
He arrived this morning, sir.
Oh, my Lord, what is Aunt Agatha going to say? Ah, what is Cyril? I got your message.
You Bertie Wooster?
Absolutely.
Mrs. Gregson said you'd look after me in New York.
Oh, did she? This is my man, Jeeves.
What, oh, Jeeves? Rotten country.
Well, I don't know. No, don't you know?
Why didn't the police in New York dress properly? Why didn't they wear helmets like they do in London? They look like postmen. It makes it dash confusing. I was just rambling along looking at things, and this fellow who looked like a postman prodded me in the ribs with a stick and started burbling something about jaywalking. I mean, I don't see why a fellow should come 3,000 miles to be prodded and burble that.
So what did you do?
Well, I prodded him back. Then he biffed me in the eye and lugged me off this beastly place. Still, that's all sorted out now. You know, what I'd really like to do while I'm here, Bertie, is see lots and lots of shows.
Ah, keen on the theatre, are you?
Oh, I'll say.
Oh, I tell you what, why don't I drop you off at a pal of mine's rehearsals? You won't mind.
I'd really like that.
Just in love.
Should any of you children be lucky enough to visit California, you may catch a glimpse of the acrobatic little Mexican chickadee. You will learn much more about this little rascal when you are grown up and read Mr. Alexander Worple's wonderful book, American Birds.
This is the title song from George's new show. You know, Freddie Flowerdew was going to star in it.
No, sir, that intelligence had passed me by.
Well, he is. It's his first American musical. Anyway, this is the opening number. Apparently he's got all these daughters, you see. Well, in the show, that is.
I understand, sir.
Right, well, the trouble is that the song is written for Freddie Flowerdew and a chorus of girls. It's all marked here, you see. Wherever it says 2 big Fs, that's for Freddie Flowerdew. Not quite sure what the little Fs are for.
Possibly they are meant to indicate fortissimo, sir.
Possibly, Jeeves, possibly. Well, anyway, to do the thing justice, I think I've got to find a way to approximate the sound of a chorus, so if you wouldn't mind joining in on all the bits that are not marked with a big FF, I'll do those bits and then we can do the chorus together.
I see, sir. I shan't be required to sing falsetto, shall I, sir?
Falsetto, Jeeves?
If I am to sound like a chorus of young ladies,
Well, I don't know. Might just do the trick at that. Well, let's try it. We'll do the first verse again.
Very good, sir.
That's all they ever say. Ask Dad, they take your breath away. Never seems to floody them. Oh, Bob's the perfect backup. Doesn't seem to worry them that Dad is due a crack-up.
Well, I don't think so, Jeeves, do you?
It does put a considerable strain on the laryngeal region.
Excuse me, ladies, the house is on fire.
What?
It's all right. It's my line from the show.
Show?
Your friend George gave me a part in his musical.
Oh, Cyril, that's terrific.
Isn't it just? We carry on rehearsing for a couple of weeks, and then we go on the road for a bit until we find a Broadway theatre that will take us.
Well, you certainly seem to have landed on your feet.
Well, it's only a small part, but it's pivotal. Of course, what I really want to do is films. Everybody says I've got the profile for it.
One wonderful new could find with money. Rachel say with money when you're just in love.
Excuse me, ladies, the house is on fire. I wonder if that line's quite right, George. I mean, wouldn't he say something more like, if you pardon me mentioning it, ladies, the house is on fire?
Oh, that's fine, Cyril. Yes, if you'd be more comfortable with it.
As Mr. Alexander Warple says in his famous book, More American Birds, if you see a sanderling spinning round in the water like a top, it's a phalarope. You see, children, phalaropes do look very like sanderlings, of course, but they're famous for spinning round and round in the water. This is a picture of the northern phalarope. Isn't he a handsome little fellow?
I say, it's rather grand, isn't it? What do you think of that, Jeeves?
A very handsome volume, there.
Your masterpiece.
Better still, we sent a copy off to Uncle Alexander, and Muriel's had a reply already. Read them the letter, Muriel.
Dear Miss Singer, thank you for your charming letter, and what a good and useful book a children's book of American birds is. Of course, I should be delighted to meet you at any time. I would tentatively suggest the 25th. Yours sincerely, Alexander Warple.
How about that? Well, worked like a charm, eh, Jeeves?
Extremely gratifying, sir.
Here we are at the Warple Towers, man.
Oh, Jeeves, Georgie Caffin has asked me to tag along with the tour of Ask Dad as a sort of unbiased observer, so that I might charge off with them and see a bit of this great country of theirs.
That would seem an excellent idea, sir.
I'll also be able to keep an eye on young Bexington.
I'm sure Mrs. Gregson will be most grateful, sir.
Yes. Probably show it in the usual manner, viz. a kick in the teeth for Bertram. Still, there you are, Jeeves. Just thought I'd mention it. The train leaves from Grand Central tomorrow morning.
Very good, sir. Good night, sir.
Good night, Jeeves.